Well, hi there, people. I'm your host, Raymond, and welcome to Motor Week. This is the most amazing, the most interesting car show in East Africa, where we get to bring you a roundup of different motorsports. I'm talking about monster trucks, super bikes, Formula One, you name it, right here on Motor Week. On the first part of the show, we take a look at this year's 2019 rally event that took place here in Kenya. And of course, later on, we take a look at the world of navigation. What really goes on in navigation? Stick around and let's find out. Since Kenya was denied to host the WRC event in 2002, Kenya has been fighting to get back on the WRC calendar. The journey has been tough, but it's almost paying off thanks to a lot of government support and of course support from the Secretariat. Kasarani Stadium was the host to the first stage of the event.
My administration is committed to supporting rallying in Kenya, and indeed, like so many Kenyans, I personally am confident that not only will this Safari Rally be a full series event, but also at some stage the Kenyan flag will also feature on a winning podium. For us to achieve this, I continue to call on corporate sponsors, and I thank especially KCB and all private sector stakeholders to join hands with government in supporting the emergence and growth of this rallying talent that we have.
There was a lot of excitement and anticipation in this year's 2019 Safari Rally, and we had the president himself flag off the cars right here at Kasarani.
Ladies and gentlemen, as he gets going, Ambassador Kabibi Kavaria along with Robert Gow in that issue.
Spectators were treated to an amazing display of speed and agility on the 2.5-kilometer stage on the vicinity of the stadium. This is what rally is all about. You can see the masses, the crowds that came out to support their local drivers, and I just want to feel the energy of this crowd. Muko tayari? Muko tayari? Wase? Wase?
At one time, the Safari Rally was among the top, and we lost that. We want that back in Africa. The kind of development that you're seeing, for the first time we have an actual race track that will be developed even further, and in trying to improve road safety, we're going to have an academy here that will be a training academy for drivers.
Well, this is a very important event because this year we are a candidate event of the World Rally Championship. It's the only candidate event that is running in the world, which means that if we run a good event, we stand a big chance to return back to the World Rally Championship come the year 2020.
We will look for the safety, of course. We will look for the suitability of the stages for the WRC, because as you know, in the past when we were driving here, the roads were not closed. And now for the WRC and for the safety, they have to be closed, so the format is of course different.
Team Uganda came to represent. They came. Look at that. Hi guys, how you doing? Hey. You guys came out in large numbers. You weren't joking this time, huh?
Yes, it's true. We have to give support to the Safari Rally. We could say we are about 200, 250. Because anything from here, we get a feedback which flows onto our economy.
So far, Uganda is #1 in Africa when it comes to motorsport. And we are proud of our country because we have the spirit and we love the game.
Tanzania mko?
A message to the fans, please keep safe distances from the cars or the route. That would be awesome.
Carl Tundo and Team Jessop finished first in this stage in 3.56 minutes, followed by Leroy and Usha Gomez from Zambia in 3.596 minutes. Onkarai and Dave Gareth came in third in 3.597 minutes.
I think Kenya has done a fabulous job to bring this back and to make this happen. This is a wonderful thing.
Soisambu, located 60 kilometers west of Naivasha, was the second stage of the rally. A special designed spectator zone offered an exciting view for the fans who watched their favorite drivers extract maximum performance from their vehicles.
And this was we found a very positive response in that, and we enjoy a tremendous support from all kinds of authorities, from the highest level down to regional level, and medical support, fire departments and so on. This is what a modern World Rally Championship event needs.
It was a spectacular flag off right off at Kasarani, and I'm telling you, the second stage at Soisambu in Naivasha and the third stage in Nakuru County was equally impressive, as the fans came out in large numbers to witness the drivers trying to outcompete each other and win this year's 2019 Safari Rally.
Do you think Kenyans have come out in large numbers as they used to? I mean, is the euphoria coming back? Is the excitement coming back?
I actually think there are more people, and that is exciting. It means something didn't actually die. We've just been waiting for it to revive.
What are your expectations in this year's rally?
Well, basically, I would not say I am way back when it comes to rally history. But as I found it, as young as I am, I'm here to show support.
Manveer Barian and Dus Tarok took the lead on the second day, but they got stuck in the third stage at Kedong, which was the longest and hardest stage of this rally. Baldev Chaga and Sonny Ravi were the top finishers in their Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution 10 at the end of the third day.
Well done once again, Ravi Soni and Baldev Chaga. Ladies and gentlemen, the winners of the 2019 Safari Rally. All together in 3, 2, 1.
What can you tell me about this year's 2019 Safari Rally?
Well, it's exciting, it's dramatic. I've seen that, and we started this a long time ago. I was the Minister of Sports 2003, and we started this campaign, but it's a long journey. Now we are here. We hope the FIA and also the World Rally Championship can approve Kenya 2020. We are ready, we are capable, we are competent, and we have a good government support. So we look forward for 2020 event.
We've held a very successful trial event, and I'm almost certain that it will be coming back here. When that happens, we're talking about a direct injection of 3-4 billion shillings into our economy. But more importantly, World Rally Champions, it's watched by 1 billion people across the whole world. So in June 2020, for about 3 or 4 days, 1 billion people will be focused on the Republic of Kenya. 1 billion people will watch our flora and our fauna. 1 billion people will watch our people, they will watch our cultures. 1 billion people will watch what Kenya has to offer to the world. 1 billion people shall all of a sudden realize that this is the one place that I ought to have gone.
This year's rally event had 48 participants. Out of the 48, only 27 of them managed to finish.
Let's hear it for Uganda, please. You can do anything if you can put your mind to it. Do you agree with me?
As you have seen, it was a very interesting and successful event. Let's thank the Secretariat for bringing the WRC back. And of course, in other news, we did have other events going down. When we go all the way to Whistling Morans in Athi River, where we had the MotoChamp 2 Bikes event taking place. And of course, don't forget to catch the Austrian GP that took place last week.
Whistling Moran was a venue for the National Superbike Race 2, and the track was set for the competitors to showcase their prowess. The weekend's venue was full of pomp and drama at the Whistling Moran's racetrack and stand. the Superbike stars hit the circuit for the final time. The track had different levels of corners and fast downhills with large amounts of runoffs. Wakili Timamu got away with the third race, immediately demonstrating the capacity to equal for the Supersport 300 categories. Sami Goodluck posted an impressive performance to finish second in the 300 categories, while the winner of the 300 category came in third. This was the most exciting and challenging race of the year. As Motorweek team, we wish them all the best in the upcoming competitions.
Daniel Ricciardo losing his front wing going into turn one. Bottas ahead of Hamilton. Now, no Norris, about 5. He's the checkered flag. He knows that he's the number 1 in Albert Park today, and he wins it by a distance. Lewis Hamilton.
Let's take a stop at the gas station. We'll be right back after the break. Now let me jump to the passenger seat, or some of you call it the co-driver seat. How many of you know about the world of navigation in rally? In this year's event, I got a chance to talk to James Mwangi, who is a navigator for the Subaru Impreza GC8. Let's find out what navigation is all about.
30. Late left.
How are you, sir?
Very good.
What's your name?
I'm James Mwangi.
James Mwangi. What car were you driving in this race?
We were in a Subaru Impreza GC8 model.
How did you guys fare in this year's event?
I think we've done pretty well. For a GC8, which is a pretty old car, I think we might have finished top 10.
And I'm sure most people really don't understand what goes on behind the world of navigating. I believe you're like the second pair of eyes for the driver, literally.
Navigation entails a lot of stuff. The navigator is like the eye of the driver, because the driver has to commit with what the co-driver says. You have to work hand in hand, and the driver has to believe and trust the co-driver 100%. So if it's a corner coming, it's a 2 right, the driver has to take it as a 2 right. So they are like slow corners, hairpins, and all that. They are crest or brow, whereby a driver cannot see what's coming. But it's going to go flat as long as you tell him it's a flat brow, or it's a max brow, or flat crest. You need to know more about also the map, the itinerary. It entails also calculating time. You're checking time into a control. So you have to, we have like, when a rally is running, it is run under time. So there are times where we have to check in at control, so we have to relay the information to the driver.
Meaning if you do communicate details to the driver, either too slow, then you guys lose on time. And if you do it too fast, then it could be a problem.
That's right, yeah. You have to relay the information at the right time and at the right place. We have what we call pace notes. Yeah. Before the rally, we'll go around the route and we'll do recce and make notes. We're gonna come back, we will do one round when the driver is calling the notes to the co-driver. And then we'll do another pass, I call the note to the driver, and on the rally day, I'm gonna call the notes and the driver gonna commit to it. So you have to be at par.
I know in the world of navigation, different teams use different systems for navigation. Yeah. Like I think in Europe they use the Jemba system. Is there a specific system that is used here in Kenya or East Africa?
It's what I can say in world of navigation, it's not about a country, it's about a driver. So different drivers would love different type of notes. We have what we call descriptive notes. It's whereby you would say a corner is medium right. The same medium right, a driver who wants a number system, another driver would call it a 3 right. Another driver would call the same corner starting with the direction and the number. So I would say a right 3. So it works all different drivers.
So it's not a standard system.
No, it's not a standard system. It's not a standard system. It is what the driver can absorb and what he can easily learn and use that. Yeah.
Has there been a moment where maybe the driver didn't listen to you? I mean, you've done recce together, so you know he kind of knows the route, and you're reading the notes, and you know he doesn't listen. I've seen shots where there's argument in the car.
I mean, there's some certain misunderstanding in the car and stuff, but you have to know that you're in that car together. You have to trust the other person. Good driver performing well must be listening and must be in sync with the co-driver. So a driver cannot just do it alone. It's impossible.
What happens when maybe you make a mistake as you're navigating? How do you bring him back to speed and get back on the?
Yeah, there are certain instances or places whereby a co-driver can get lost or something, but with experience you get to avoid that. But when you're learning, coming into the co-driving world and all that, there are moments where you can't get lost and stuff. So you have to be able to have a way whereby you can pick your notes very quick and know where you are.
How important is it for a navigator also to understand the technology under the bonnet, so that in case of anything, you're able to fix the car?
That's right, yeah. Slowly, and as time goes, you have to learn basic mechanics, you learn about what to do if you get stopped or something. And sometimes you stop, the car switched off, you don't know what to do. You gotta call back your mechanic and they're gonna relay information. Do this, try this fuse, try this, and maybe you can get moving again. But to get learning slowly, and all that, yeah. But with basic mechanics and more experience, the better. Yeah.
Thank you very much for joining us on the show today. All right.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it. I'm sure right now most of you understand a thing or two about the world of navigation. On the next part of the show, for all of you who are lovers of speed and thrill, I'm talking about the world of Formula One. We're going to be taking a look at the differences between the 2019 and the 2018 Mercedes Formula One car. There's so much that goes on into these cars, and I'm just excited to share this with you.
When you look at the new car, the most obvious changes are all the ones that come from the regulations themselves, because this year has a very large change in aerodynamic regulation, much larger than normal. It was a change that was conceived around about April last year, intended to make the cars better at overtaking one another, better at following one another closely round corners, and better as a racing spectacle. The main features of that regulation change you can see in the front wing of the car, the front brake ducts, the barge boards behind the front wheels, and in this rear wing. So, the big aerodynamic change then, what was the idea behind it? Well, if you look at every single Formula One car since 2009, they've all had one underlying aerodynamic theme, and that has been to try to manage the wake of the front tyres. These tyres create a lot of aerodynamic chaos behind them. They generate a nasty wake of low energy, chaotic air that if you allow that air to fall on your own car, then it damages that car's ability to generate downforce. So every year since 2009, we've been developing techniques to take the wake of this tyre and throw it away from the car, as far away from the car as we possibly can. And the main agents for throwing that wake outboard have been the front wing, these brake ducts, and the barge boards behind, all of which have been sort of snow ploughing air outboard away from the car, where it doesn't then fall on your own car. But sadly, it doesn't fall on your own car, it winds up on the car behind you and makes it much harder for that car then to follow you. Something which the fans of the sport don't like, and we don't like either. So we all voted for a change to this regulation to try and limit the ability of the leading car to control the wake of its own tyre. And the consequence of that you see very, very clearly in the layout and design of the front end of this car. So you see on the front wing, much wider, more simple, without all of the features that were able to shovel air outboard. You also see front brake ducts that are much smaller as well, with fewer flicks and turning vanes on them for steering the air. And then behind the tyres, on the bargeboard area, you see a smaller bargeboard, again with less authority to try and shovel air outboard. So that makes a very big visual difference. Wider wing, simpler wing, and simpler stuff behind. And it's been our task over the last several months to try and take the impact of that regulation in our stride, to try and figure out what we're going to do to manage the performance of the car, because we still want not to have to eat this tyre wake. We still want to get that away from our car, but the regulations have been changed to reduce the tool set that we have to try and control it.
So if you love Formula One and you're a fan of speed, you could always try your luck at the track in Abu Dhabi. You do have to part with some money though. We're going to pull into a small pit stop for service. We'll be right back after the break. Well, after the maintenance and service, we are ready to keep moving. Now, in this year's WRC candidate event, I talked to people and realized that not many Kenyans actually know the history of the rally in Kenya. Let's take you back to where it all started and find out what it was all about.
There are a lot of people who don't really understand the history of the rally.
Yes.
Do you yourself?
I know for a fact that I can't remember a time without rally growing up.
Mhm.
You know, I grew up in Kajiado. That back then it was a district. And anywhere between Magadi and Kiserian, you always knew every year
Exactly.
when the rains come,
Mhm.
you used to have safari rally.
Yes.
You know, and I know the younger people don't know that. So I'm happy that the newer generation is going to have to see that now.
Yeah.
Yes.
It actually started as a celebration after the coronation of the Queen,
Yes.
Elizabeth II.
Yes.
That's where it all started.
Yes.
The Crown of England, the Archbishop performs the simple yet the most significant ceremony of the Queen's coronation.
When I was a small girl, I used to see safari rally. You know, that time rough roads were many. Not unlike today, whereby we have a lot of tarmac. So that time it was rough road, mawe na matope. Yes. If you miss the mud, you would miss the stone.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
Actually, how it came up to be, unakumbuka Queen Elizabeth? Queen Elizabeth II.
Yes.
Watu walikuja wakasema, let's celebrate her being queen.
Yes.
Na sasa ndio ikaanza hapo.
Wakaanza racing.
Ndio patia history kidogo tu.
Yes.
I can't believe our race is almost coming to an end. I can see the checkered flag. So make sure to catch our next show on Motor Week. I've been your host Raymond saying, kwaherini ya konana. But before I go, let's have a look at the upcoming event in the world of motorsports.